Welcome to this week's episode of Raptor Recap, where we take a look at a few of the highlights in Raptor Nation from the week of October 20th, 2019. Monday started off the week with a pretty exciting field trip for some of our students. After finishing a unit on ancient Egypt, Mrs. Bisenius' world history class took a virtual reality field trip to the pyramid, Sphinx, in Cairo, Egypt. As arrows popped up on the virtual reality screen, Mrs. Bisenius was able to ask questions based on specific locations and also give other historical information. Students agree, this is an awesome way to experience sights they normally wouldn't see. Mrs. Kofmehl's TK class has been learning all about owls. On Monday, Ida County naturalist Danielle Bennett spent time with the students discussing owls and nocturnal animals. Using an owl puppet, Danielle was able to demonstrate how owls can turn their heads 270 degrees to see what's going on around them. They have this ability because even though they have big eyes, they aren't able to move their eyeballs. Danielle also explained about the owl's sharp talons and how their feathers are super soft, which allows the owls to fly silently. These are both great things for the owl to have as he hunts his prey. At the end of her visit, she played a game with the students. The person in the middle of a circle was the owl. They had to close their eyes and listen closely as the students passed around a squeaker horn that represented a mouse. Once a student squeaked the horn, the owl had to point to the mouse. What a fun experience for our students. Thank you, Danielle, for bringing all the great show and tell items. Mr. Michalik's general science class finished up their egg drop experiments last week. This is a great lesson for students to test their design skills and creative thinking. Students try to build a structure that will prevent a raw egg from breaking when dropped from a significant height. The science behind solving the falling egg problem is found in Sir Isaac Newton's 3 laws of motion. Every object in a state of uniform motion will remain in that state of motion unless an external force acts on it. Force equals mass times acceleration, and for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. After the first trials, more than half of the students had indeed constructed a device that kept the egg safe. This was a great way for our students to have hands-on experience with learning. If you were at the high school on Tuesday, you may have smelled the sweetness of cinnamon and sugar wafting down the hallway. Mrs. Olson's foods classes were making bubble bread. The recipe that students used was a microwavable adaptation, making it a quick and easy breakfast idea. This was a great opportunity for students to enhance their life skills by following a recipe, working together collaboratively, and then being able to enjoy the sweet taste of success. Last week was National Red Ribbon Week. Ida County Sheriff Wade Harriman stopped to visit with all the Galva-Holstein elementary students and talked to them about making healthy choices and staying drug-free. As a bonus, he even brought a cool gift for each of the students who promised to stay drug-free their entire life. Reading interventions are a hit. Mrs. Grieme's 3rd grade class in Shaler has been learning all about irregular plural nouns during intervention time. One of the games they play to reinforce what they've learned is called Scoot. For the game, they scoot around the room to 24 different words which are placed all around the classroom. Each word is a singular noun. The students have to write the correct plural for each noun. It's undeniable that a child's reading skills are important to their success in school, work, and life in general. It is very possible to help ensure your child's success by reading to them starting at a very early age. If you didn't take time to check out the book fair when you were at elementary conferences, be sure to do so this week. There's nothing like having your very own library of books you enjoy. The Horan family donated mini pumpkins to the Shaler Crestland kindergarten class. The boys and girls picked their pumpkin and recorded how many ribs it had and if it had a stem. Each student weighed their pumpkin using a balance scale and teddy bear counters and then predicted if it would sink or float before placing it in water. The class then cut out and constructed a black hat to turn the pumpkins into pumpkin witches. Sir Isaac Newton was popular with our students last week. The 8th grade science students have been testing cars that they designed and built utilizing Newton's laws of motion. This 2-week activity was a high-interest, hands-on project that required students to design, build, and eventually race their cars. Materials were limited to plastic axles, rubber bands, straws, tongue depressors, container caps, and of course, duct tape. There was no blueprint, so many different and amazing designs were developed. The ultimate goal was to cover 7 meters in the least amount of time. This activity allowed students to apply concepts learned earlier, including motion, speed, force, friction, and Newton's laws of motion, as well as addressing several NGSS standards involving science and engineering practices. Miss Altman's kindergarten students acted out the poem Five Little Pumpkins. After learning the poem, they were challenged to make a gate of their own that 5 little pumpkins, the yellow cotton balls, could sit on. They were given popsicle sticks and clothespins to use. They used their knowledge of a gate to build their own. They tested it and made changes to improve it. They had so much fun testing different designs for their pumpkins. Many successful gates were made. What great scientific minds! Thursday afternoon, we hosted the state qualifying cross-country meet at the Holstein Golf Course. 29 teams competed here for the honor of advancing to state. All our runners ran hard and did their best. We are so proud of all of them. Congratulations to Caitlin Weiss and Paige Padovich for finishing in the top 15. They have advanced to the state cross-country meet, which will be ran November 2nd in Fort Dodge.
Itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the slide.
We ended the week with harvest parties at the Galva-Holstein Lower Elementary. Classes had a fun afternoon celebrating a successful week by enjoying fall snacks and playing games. What a great way to end the week. Football team ended their season Friday on the road with a 8-41 loss against IK and Manning. They finished the season 1-8. Remember to come out and cheer on our volleyball team as they begin regional play on Monday night in Shaler. Game time is 7 p.m. against Lawton Bronson. It's just a short drive to Fort Dodge to cheer on Caitlin and Paige on Saturday as they run in the state cross-country meet. State cross-country is really a unique experience. Thank you for watching our 8th episode of Raptor Recap. We appreciate the continued positive support from our parents, communities, and fans. Working together, we will provide a bright future for all of our students.